Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to another episode where I review fountain pens made in Romania in communist times. Today I have for you quite an elegant piece, and we are talking about FLARO Sirius. This is a quite elegant fountain pen. It comes with this metallic cap. You can see a nice metallic cap with this matte finish, this brushed steel finish. It has a ring at the end of the cap, and the trims are finished in this shiny steel. As you saw before, we have imprinted on the ring FLARO Sirius, and the clip is metallic and quite a stiff clip, but I think it does its job. Quite interesting, on this metallic cap we have a breathing hole right besides the clip. I think we have the cap on screws. Let me see if I'm right. Oh no, I'm sorry guys, I've just removed the barrel. Let me see. I'm not so sure about the cap. By the way, the barrel is made out of this glossy shiny plastic. And let me see about the cap. So I think it should also unscrew. And again I have the same little problem. Let me see, maybe... Oh, I also have here a ring. I have to pay attention not to lose that one. It is quite important. Yes, I think that... Yes. So, the cap is a pressure fit cap. And when I remove it, it reveals this quite nice ink window. A transparent ink window. Followed by quite a large portion of the grip section. It is interesting. We have two faces, one on the right and one on the left. It gives this dynamic look, and it ends with this hooded nib. Of course, this design reminds us of the famous Parker 51. On the back we have a different design. Let me zoom on it for you to see better. Even the feed is hidden, and we have a feature that we saw. I think it reminds me of a Waterman Karen. It has this hole here, and I don't know the purpose of it. Maybe it helps to the ink to be drawn out of the ink bottle. I'm not so sure. By the way guys, let me see where I have my Waterman Karen to show you what I mean. Let me find it. Yes, I found the Waterman Karen. It is right here. And you can see, let me bring them closer to you. Okay. So on the back, on the Waterman Karen, we have a hole. Definitely, I think it is for the ink. It has a roll in the ink. And look at the design. By the way guys, I'm sorry, this has a quite pronounced crack here. These Romanian models. Oh, I hate when I discover these little imperfections. Okay, so I've shown you the Waterman Karen. I will leave the FLARO Sirius aside. I will also leave the Karen aside. And as I've shown you, it has a crack here. What a shame. Yes. Now, you probably saw that it is quite easy to disassemble and clean. So if we unscrew this barrel, we have access to the reservoir. And by the way, guys, if you didn't notice, we have an integrated piston. So if I turn this knob, you should see. Oh, yes. Guys, I'm sorry, another big problem. You can see that this is a plastic part, that it is broken. So we had here a screwed in piston, an integrated screwed in piston, but that spiral that holds the end is gone away, and I believe also the ending of the piston. So I'm sorry, I will just use this fountain pen dipped in ink. I also have this metallic part here, and the metallic part reminds me of another fountain pen, quite famous fountain pen that I will show you in a few minutes, the Lamy 2000. And of course the Lamy 2000 has the same part but here. So when you try to open it, it has a similar part, and be careful not to lose it. You can see it, yes. Okay, so guys, I have here the Lamy 2000. I will place it next to the fountain pen and also the Waterman Karen. You can see they are similar in size, and I will put the famous expensive ones aside, and I will leave the dimensions of our FLARO Sirius on the screen. FLARO Sirius. For the writing sample, I will use this Faber-Castell pink erasable ink. I remind you that I will just simply dip the fountain pen in ink because the filling mechanism is broken. I'm not so sure that I would, if I can find the replacement parts for it to be functioning again. And there is that big problem with that nasty crack at the end of the grip section. So this part definitely needs to be replaced. Let me show you again this quite ugly crack. By the way, guys, I think that the nib, it is made out of steel and it has that tipping, but I'm not so sure it is iridium tipped or it's just simply steel, a bent steel. So guys, before I do the writing sample, I like to change the angle of the camera for you to see better the written sample. Okay, it is perfect. Well, what can I say, guys? It is quite nice. This is another design. You probably saw the AP design at a previous episode. It had also a hooded nib, it had a larger ink window, and it had a fake cap that if we turn it around, it gave us access to the turning knob. This had the integrated pistons, so quite nice, and a nice design, but this time made by FLARO and not by AP. But during communist times there was quite familiar practice to share the designs between the manufacturers. I don't recommend posting this fountain pen, although you can, because this is a metallic part and on this shiny plastic it's a no-no. It will leave marks in time, so I will simply put the cap here. I will open the Faber-Castell ink, pink ink. I will immerse it in ink. I will try to remove the excess of ink. Let me see if I can write with it. So I have here a FLARO Sirius. This was made in Romania in the 1980s, I presume. It has a hooded nib. It has an ink window, and it is a piston filler. Quite a nice combination. Let me see. Yes, definitely no flex. I will dip it again in ink. It doesn't seem to be a wet writer, but let me test it. You can see. Now let me try to see if we have, this is without pressure, and here a little bit pressure, so definitely no line variance. Let me try to do a signature with it. Yes, it performs quite okay. Now let me see if the reverse writing, yes, I think it's a possibility. It performs like when I write with it normal, so I think it is okay. Judging by the way it performs, I think this is an M nib, a medium nib, a medium steel nib. I don't know if I can say it has an ink flow problem, but it gives the impression of a dry writer, which is a thing that I don't like. Let me tell you now about the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So you can definitely see some ink flow problems, but this is due to the fact that I use it as a dip pen. I bet that if you can see the difference, yes, it's not such a bad nib. I've seen worse nibs, and definitely a nice writer. No flex, but quite enjoyable. It is a smooth writer. The only thing that the nib feels sometimes to be quite dry. I hope you've enjoyed this episode on my channel. I want to wish you to have a nice day wherever you are, guys. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. I will see you again at the next episode. Till then, please take care of yourself, guys, in these pandemic times. Bye bye, and God bless.